This is a presentation not on how to enroll a customer or a business builder. It's a presentation on how to enroll a very, very large business builder. If you use it on someone who's a customer, they'll immediately quit. If you use it on someone who's just an ordinary business builder, they will immediately quit because you'll have built up their expectations so much that it won't work for them. So let me show you one thing that you must understand. Website, and that's member resources right down here on the left side control panel. I'm going to click member resources, and about 9 or so down is the 2019 income disclosure statement. Click on that. And the first thing I want to show you is that 90% right here, 90% are customers only. 90% they don't want to earn money. They're not interested in earning money. They're scared silly of telling their neighbor or their mother. They just want to buy the products. So don't think that most people are going to be business builders. Most people are just going to be customers. Now let's look down at the 3 levels of diamond. And you can see that each one is less than 1/10 of 1%. The truth is it's probably less than 100th of 1% or 1,000th of 1%. And so if you're going to be enrolling a very large business builder, they're down in this category in 1/100ths of 1% or 1,000ths of 1%. So that means if you have an organization with 1,000 members in it, you'll likely have 1 diamond, like not hundreds, we're talking 1. So this process that I'm going to be teaching you, you must reserve a few big, really big business builders. Okay, so I've set the stage. So the first step, it's a 7-step program that I'm going to be teaching you. The first step is finding candidates. Step 1 is finding candidates. And there's 2 methods for it. Method number 1 is someone you know. And the someone you know could be the executive of a large organization. It could be an entrepreneur who's doing really well. It's got to be who's currently producing huge results. In network marketing, people like to say, anybody can do it. It's an equal playing field. Well, anyone can do it from a legal point of view, but very few people have the personal charisma, have presentation skills, have the ability to dress appropriately, have the ability to produce results no matter what the obstacles are, be able to look good even if their toe hurts. Like, most people can't overcome obstacles. Most people race to victim as soon as they get the slightest paper cut. And so again, this is only for the big players. And you might say, well, for gosh sake, if someone's earning a couple $100,000 a year as the executive of a big corporation, what the heck would they want to do playing with an MLM? Well, there's a wonderful story of one lady who is a C-suite executive of a Fortune 500 public company. And she said she had no time, but she realized that she'd be working to her death at this salary job. And so she took on Young Living only from noon till 1 p.m. because she worked at her desk anyways. So if you wanted to call her, you had to call her between noon and 1 p.m., no exceptions. If she did trainings or enrollments, it was between noon and 1 p.m. And she worked her way up to diamond, earning $100,000 a month or much more from 1 hour a day because she was already wildly productive. So this is only for people who've proven they can be wildly productive, not people that you hope will be productive. The second way to find candidates is social media. Now, I'm in Transformational Leadership Council. It's a group of 130 of the top transformational leaders in the world, all of them highly productive. And so I use my membership in Transformational Leadership Council to quietly mention this to some people. I can't run around promoting it, but I'm quiet about it. And I also use social media. And the way I do it in social media is I do a Facebook Live. That's what I found is the best way to do it, because my posts on Facebook come and go. People see it for a day and maybe for a week, and after that it's done. But Facebook highly promotes Facebook Lives. And so if I do a Facebook Live and you come onto Facebook and we're friends, Facebook will go gushing all over itself. Oh my gosh, Raymond's doing a Facebook Live. Go see Raymond on Facebook Live. But they won't do that for an ordinary post. Furthermore, for a day or so after the Facebook Live, when you come onto Facebook, it'll say, oh my gosh, Raymond recently did a Facebook Live. Go play it, go play it. So I get a lot of attention from Facebook Live. So that's just the trick that I found. And when I do a Facebook Live, I never say the name of the company. Nothing. I don't say anything, and I don't mention network marketing. Nothing. What I say is, and I'll do it very briefly, hi, it's Raymond, me, or maybe you don't, maybe you've just been passed this message along. What I want to say is that Jack Canfield, I'm sure you know Jack Canfield, he is the co-creator of the entire Chicken Soup for the Soul series of books, and he was the star of the movie The Secret, and he has many other credentials. He and I joined a business together. We started a business together, and you can say that also. You can say that Jack Canfield and I started a business together. You can say that because you are in his organization. And I say, we started a business together. We did it in the middle of the pandemic, and we chose to do a business that would be automatically supported by the pandemic. Some businesses are going to crash and go down, like things related to transportation. For example, cruise ships are going down and Hertz has already gone bankrupt, and other things are going to be exploding. And so we did our research and found an industry that was going to skyrocket and a particular business within that industry that is going to skyrocket. And we started a business, and it has been unbelievably successful. So successful that we can't handle all the business. It's flying at us so fast, we can't handle it all. We've got customers racing at us, and we can't even take good care of them because so many customers are joining our business. And Jack Canfield and I have decided that we need a partner, a joint venture partner, to help us in this business. It's not a salary job. Be careful to say it very clearly. It's not a salary job. People hear whatever they want to hear. And if they contact Facebook and claim that you're making improper presentations, then you can get booted off Facebook. So I say it a couple times. This is not a salary job. You want a salary job, don't apply. This is a business. You're starting a business. And by the way, it's not going to cost you $1 million like a McDonald's franchise. It costs, I don't know, $500 or $600 for some tools. I make sure I say that. $500 or $600 for some tools. Why am I vague? Because I don't know if they're living in Canada or the United States. If they're living in Canada, they'll just automatically think it's Canadian dollars. If they're living in the United States, they'll think it's automatically US dollars. If they're living in England or anywhere else in the world, they'll think it's US dollars. So I need to include the Canadians. So I say 500 or 600. And by that, what I mean is starter pack for the oils, the starter pack for the thieves, and the Ningji juice. That comes out to about $500. And I want them to start with all three. This is not the usual customer. This is not even the usual business builder. Darn it, if I'm going to pick you as a big shot, you darn well better start with all three. So I have to plant the seed right at the beginning. So I say, listen, it's not $1 million like it would cost to start a McDonald's franchise. Heck, it's only $500 or $600 in order to get the tools you need. I don't say products. I don't say Young Living. I don't say MLM. Nothing. I just talk about Jack Canfield and I started a business. It's booming so well, we can't even take care of all of our customers. They're flying in. And indeed, Jack Canfield's been in the business for about half a year. I've been in it for about a half a year. I have almost 400 members. He has well over 2,000 members. That qualifies as customers flying in. And I say, If you're interested in being considered as a joint venture business partner with us, and again, I say, it's not a salary job, it's business. You'll be in business for yourself. Then you have to email me, Raymond@Aaron.com, and say two things. I want you to say that you're interested in a joint venture position. And second of all, you have to say your cell phone number so I can be in touch with you. And that's it. Then I close it off and I say, I'm serious. Jack Canfield and I are looking for one leader. You need to be a leader. And then I get lots and lots of emails. I get lots of them. Let me give you a little trick. This is all within number one of finding candidates. And here's my trick. Before I do my Facebook Live, I go onto Facebook to search for groups. So when I get on Facebook, I search for groups that have to do with network marketing, groups that have to do with leadership, groups that have to do with, I want to start my own business, groups that mention Jack Canfield, groups that mention the movie The Secret. In other words, I want people who know Jack Canfield, who love the movie The Secret, who've heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, who want to start their own business. I search for 50 groups. And by the way, there's 100 million groups, so it's not hard to find 50. It'll only take you a few hours. And then you click saying, I want to join. And for some of them, you have to answer some questions. But you just click and say, I want to join. And some of them are public, so they automatically join. And some of them are private, so you have to wait for the administrator to let you in. Okay, good. Now here's the secret. When you launch a Facebook Live and you talk and you're finished, then on the bottom right of your post, the curved arrow called share, S-H-A-R-E. And you click on that share button, and then you click on group, and then you click on the groups, the 50 groups that you've just found. So instead of your message going out to the 100 or 500 or 1,000 people who are friends on your profile, it'll also go out to thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who are in those 50 groups. This is a giant secret, a giant insight that I have. So no matter how tiny is your Facebook profile, no matter how few people you have on your Facebook profile, no matter how few friends you have, when you use this idea, you suddenly are in front of 50 other groups. Now, how do I choose the groups? Number one, I look for size. So if a group has like 9 people in it, I'm not interested. And the other thing is the most recent activity. There are some groups of tens of thousands of people, but they're inactive because Facebook does not allow you to delete a group. So once you've started a group, it never goes away. So there are people in many groups that are now defunct and they just ignore it. Because, I mean, you can group, but you can't delete the group. So if it's a large group, but no one's made a post for 6 months, then don't bother joining it. And if it's a small group, don't bother joining it. So you'll pretty well figure out the group you should join. Just think of keywords that the people in that group would want to know. If you join a group and nobody's heard of Jack Canfield, it's not going to help you. So Jack Canfield, the movie The Secret, network marketing, MLM, I want to start my own business, growing my own business. Just words like that. Just try different keywords and join 50 groups. And here's the secret. Listen really carefully or you'll get hurt. Facebook has bots, B-O-T-S. Bots are little robots that roam through Facebook and look for suspicious behavior. They look for violence, they look for racism, they look for lots of things to keep Facebook clean. And one of the things they look for is spammers. That is people that send a message to hundreds of thousands of people. So if you click on Share, 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 all the way down all 50 of your groups, you'll be kicked out of Facebook. Not forever, 3 days. And when they kicked me out, I was shivering. I said, "Oh my God, I can't afford to be kicked out of Facebook." And they kicked me out for 3 days, and then they let me back in. And what I found is if I click on selected groups, then it works. Because imagine that you play badminton and you like ice hockey and you like gardening. Badminton, ice hockey, and gardening. And you make a post about gardening. So then you would share it. Oh yeah, that's a gardening group. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's a gardening group. No, no, no. Yeah, that's a gardening group. And so if you go through picking the groups to send it to, like share, share, skip, 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 share, 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 skip, share, share, skip, share, then the bot will think you're deciding the relevant groups, and that's okay. So how many out of the 50? 25, maybe 30 if you're aggressive. And then of course, the next time you do a Facebook Live, you'll just, because it's random, you'll just automatically choose different groups. Okay, so this giant wisdom in how to get lots of people to view you on Facebook Live. Okay, so that's step one. And the keywords are, you have to say not salary, you have to say $500 or $600 to get started. You have to say Jack Canfield and I are seeking a joint venture partner. You have to talk about so much business flying at us, we don't know what to do. All of those words very much excite people. I mean, if somebody owns a hardware store and no one's coming in these days, they're desperate. They don't have any customers. And if they see you have customers flying in, you can't even take care of them. Oh my God, it drives them wild. So that's step one, finding candidates. Do you have a question about finding candidates?
Clear for me.
No? Okay,
fine.
Susan, welcome. Susan said you'd be able to attend, but a little bit late. So I'm glad you're here, Susan.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So step number two, Susan, I'm teaching a 7-step program and you missed step one, which is finding candidates, but you can play the video afterwards.
Okay.
Step two is called audition. It is the complete reversal of anything you've ever heard of. In network marketing, what you've heard of is that you as the enroller and the prospect get together in person or by Zoom or by phone, and then the enroller starts the presentation. It's so good because of this, and it's so good because of that, and this is amazing, and this product is amazing. The company's been around for 26 years. You just blast the hell out of the prospect, and the prospect sitting there just like dazzled, deciding whether they want in or not. In this deal, you ask them to audition. You ask them to audition. Now, they won't think of it, and so you better tell them. So when they send me an email and they enclose their cell phone number, I phone them back. Hello, it's Raymond Aaron. And then I mention Jack Canfield again. Jack Canfield and I are seeking a joint venture partner. Remember, it's not a salaried position, it's a business, but it's only $500 or $600 for the tools to get in. So it's quite cheap, quite inexpensive. And they say, well, tell me about it. And I say, well, we're not there yet, sir. You have to audition. No, but I want to know what kind of business it is. I'm sure you do, but we're not there yet. Jack and I need to know whether you're the kind of person that we're looking for. And I don't care how many times they say, well, but just tell me a little about it. I keep saying, we're not there yet, sir. I need to know if you're the kind of person we're looking for. If you could please tell me about yourself, and they all do. They tell me this long story. When I was only 18, I started my first business, and then I had this failure, but I learned from it. And it's wonderful because they tell you every single thing about themselves, including their hot buttons. So listen carefully. What they say reveals their hot buttons. They will reveal what they are looking for in a business. So they might say, well, you know, I had these businesses fail on me, so I'm looking for security. I'm looking for something that really works. Oh my gosh, network marketing is already, the whole business is organized for you. Or they might say, I'm looking for teamwork. I hate I was a realtor and I was working by myself. I want teamwork. I want to be in a team. Then all you do is talk about teamwork. Listen carefully for their hot buttons. Listen carefully for their buying decisions, for their buying issues. I've had people say, I want to work on a team. I've had people say, I want it like a franchise where I know for sure I'm going to be successful. I want to get trained. That's my issue. I got into another business untrained and I failed. So I really want training. When you hear their issue, it's so easy to enroll them. Because let's say training is their issue. And they go on and on and on about themselves. And I said, well, I'm going to have to get back to Jack Canfield about you in order to see if we're willing to take you to the next step. But I just want you to know that if we do, the biggest thing that you'll appreciate is the amazing training. They say, oh my God, that's what I want. Or if they say they want teamwork, you say, well, the only thing I will tell you is that this business involves a lot of teamwork. So you have to be willing to work in a team. Oh my God, that's what I want. That's what I want. They won't think that you're just repeating like a parrot what they say. They won't think that because they might have talked for 20 minutes. They don't remember what they said. So if you just repeat back the biggest emotional thing that they want, they'll just grab you. And then I make them wait. I say, I need to speak to Jack Canfield. I'm sure he's available tonight, so I can call you tomorrow. What time would be good? And I make them wait. And then when I call them back, so this is part of the audition. We're at step number 2, audition. I call them back and I say, Jack was quite impressed with your resume. I remembered most of what you said. And he said that it's up to me if I want to take a chance. And so I tell them, I ask them, is there something more that you'd like to tell me? And even if they don't know anymore, they'll talk because they say, oh my God, Jack Canfield said that he's considering me. Oh my gosh, Jack Canfield. Oh my God, Jack Canfield. But if they've never heard of him, it doesn't work. That's why I use Jack Canfield as one of the keywords in the search to find groups. So that's step number 2, is that I have 2 auditions with them. Now, step number 3 is not really a step. It actually should be part of number 2, but it's so important, I want to set it apart. Step number 3 is the don'ts. DON''TS, the don'ts. Do not tell them it's Young Living. Do not tell them it's MLM. Do not tell them whether it's a product or service. Nothing. Nothing, nothing. I tell them nothing. If they enter me, I will sell health products. That's it. But I do say something. I say, there's many customers in my organization. And in order to be a customer, you have to want to buy my products. So when I speak to customers, I tell them all about the products. But I'm not telling you about the products because I want to know if you're a good business partner with me. So I'm talking to you about the business. But when I'm talking to potential customers, I don't talk like this. I tell them about the products. Just so they can see that I'm not money grubbing, I'm not only interested in the business, because they have to know that my heart is in the products when I'm talking to a customer. Okay, so Part 2 is the audition, and part 3 is what not to do. Do you have any questions about parts 2 or 3?
Oh, fun.
Okay. Part 4 is the 2019 income disclosure statement. And I'm going to put that back up on the screen. And the way you find it is by going into your account in Young Living and then look down the left side control panel for member resources. Click on it, and there'll be about 20 links, but one of them is called 2019 Worldwide Income Disclosure Statement. And then I show them that silver is the first leadership level. And I go way over to the right and say it takes 31 months on average to get to silver. That's 2.5 years. And on average, you earn $19,000. And then I tell them, who the heck wants to work for 2.5 years to get $19,000? And I say, I do. And here's why. And so does Jack Canfield. Because most people work an hour, get a buck. Work an hour, get a buck. If they want another buck, they got to work another hour. Most people sell a widget and get a buck. If they want another buck, they got to sell another widget. Most people see a patient and earn a buck. They want another buck, they got to see another patient. And so they can never retire. They got to work till they're 90. But in this business, the reason you can earn so much money is you do something once and get paid every month. Now, let's say they tell me they're a dentist. So I would say, how much do you get for a filling, for example? And they'll say $300. Okay, fine. So let's say you do a filling this month of January. Has it ever happened that a patient calls you up in February and says, can I please pay for that filling again? They say, no, that's silly. Right. And in March, do they call you and say, can I pay it again? No. That's why you have no residual income as a dentist. But in this business, when someone becomes a customer, they agree to buy every month. And that's why that 19,000, though it may not seem that exciting to you, is residual income. If you earned it in 2020, you'll get it again in 2021 and again in 2022, which means that the work you do next year adds to that. It's not the only income is what you do next year. You get the previous year's income as well. And then I say to them, by the way, it didn't take me 2.5 years. It took me 2 weeks. And so then I say to them sarcastically, so if Jack and I accepted you, would you want to grow fast or slow? They always take it honestly as a serious question. They say, fast. Yeah, I'd like to go fast. And I say, well, then you better be in an organization with someone who can train you, who's done fast. And you can say that too. You can say, I'm in Raymond Aaron's organization, I'm in Jack Canfield's organization, and they're setting records. Young Living has never had anyone succeed so fast. So you can give our statistics. I got to silver in 2 weeks. Jack got to gold in 1 month. So then I go to the next one, gold, and I say on average, that took 42 months. That's 3.5 years. And in 3.5 years, the average income is $60,000. The average income in the United States is $30,000. So if you get to gold, you're making 50% more than the average American before you start working, because that's residual income. Now it's starting to sound interesting. And by the way, if you work with us, you'll likely get there very, very fast. And then I skipped all the way down to the bottom one, and I say, the top level, which is where Jack Canfield and Raymond Aaron are going, is 130 months. That's 11 years. Sir, have you been working for 11 years since graduating? Yes. is your income 1.9 million US dollars a year? Oh God. Well, why? The answer is because in 2020, you got paid for your income in 2020. And in 2019, you got paid for your income in 2019. And in 2018, you got paid your income in 2018. But in this business, whatever you do, you keep getting paid for. You do it once, you keep getting paid for it. So it's as if in 2023, you'll get paid for everything you did in 2023 and everything you did in 2022 and everything you did in 2020, everything you did in 2020. It all adds up. And that's why after only 11 years, the average person at the top earns 1.9 million and the biggest person 3.5 million. And at that point, I say to them, I don't know about Jack Canfield, but I'm willing to take a chance on you if you're willing to say, I'm all in, all in, all in. Count on me no matter what. And at this point, I get an objection. I'll say, well, what do you mean all in? How much time is it? I say, well, you tell me. If you're working 60 hours a week, how much time would you have left over? If you're working 25 hours a week, maybe you could devote 20 hours a week or 50 hours a week or all your weekends or something. But I ask them a question that's way too big for them to agree to. So they can say, whoa, hold on. Well, how much can you agree to? And I'll see if that's enough for Jack and me. And if they say, well, I can agree to put in 20 hours a week and I can agree to enroll people like crazy, I'm going to be your biggest star. I say, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on you even before conferring again with Jack Canfield. And they applaud. They're so grateful. They're so happy. And then I say to them, yes, so this is, I'm sorry, we're at step 5. No, so this is the end of step 4, which is the 2019 income disclosure statement. So step number 4 is called the 2019 income disclosure statement. That's where I talk about how much money they make, and that's where I get them to commit to how much work they're going to do. Do you have any question about the step 4, which is about the income they could get?
No question.
Okay. Yep, go ahead. Okay, fine. So step number 5, I say, now that you're in, I'm going to tell you about some of our products. And I spend 5 or 8 minutes on the oils, starting with the 3 wisest men in the world gave baby Jesus a gift, and it was essential oils. And I talk about seed to seal, which is the reason that our products are so pure. And I give them an example, which is powerful. Jack Canfield had a fungal infection on the big toe of his right foot. So he went to a health food store in Santa Barbara, and they correctly prescribed tea tree oil. That's TEATREE, tea tree oil. And it's antifungal and for skin. And he put 3 drops on his big toe every night for 3 years, and nothing happened. And then when he enrolled in Young Living, he saw there was a Young Living tea tree oil. So he put that on his big toenail. And within a few months, his toe was completely pink and healed and cured. The reason is, with essential oils, if there's tiny impurities, the medicinal benefit drops to almost 0. If there's any impurities whatsoever, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, any impurities whatsoever, the medicinal benefit falls to almost 0, as what happened with Jack. He was willing to pay for very expensive oils, but they didn't do him any good. So it didn't matter how much he paid. But when he switched to Young Living, it worked. And that's why our oils work. Then the second thing I tell them about is the Thieves home cleaning products. And I tell the story of the Black Plague, which killed a third of everybody in Europe, but it didn't kill the thieves. And then they combine thieves oil with lemon, and the lemon cuts the grease. The thieves oil washes the grease away. The thieves oil gives you the immunity, which it gave the thieves during the Black Plague and protected them from disease and death. And it also fills the air with a wonderful fragrance. And then with great glee, I tell them about Ningxia Red as one of our nutritional supplements. And I talk about that one, about it has the 8 antioxidants, not just one. And I give them the several testimonials. Jacinth in Northern Alberta, she sleeps only 4.5 hours a night for 30 years. When she started taking Ningxia Red, within a few months, she was sleeping 8.5 hours. Why do I always say a few months? Because I used to say within a week, which is the truth. And people would join under me just to get Ningxia Red. And then they would quit after 1 month because they didn't get giant improvement in a week. So I changed it to 3 months. So at least they'll stay in for 3 months. And I talk about my sister who rides a bicycle every morning for an hour. And once she took a different route, it took her 2 hours. She got back exhausted. Within 3 months of using Ningxia, she tried the longer route and she did it. And it did take 2 hours, but she came back refreshed. And then I talk about a friend of mine who is 76 years old. When he was 66, he stopped being able to perform in bed. His doctor prescribed Viagra, and he was able to perform from age 66 to age 76. When he started with Ningxia, within a few months, he threw his Viagra away. And then I tell them my story that I was an athlete in my teens and 20s and 30s. At age 36, I ran an ultra marathon of 100 kilometers, which is 62 miles. And I wrecked my lungs so badly that I couldn't run again without panting so much, and I had to stop with the walk. So I was an athlete all my life. And from age 36 to age 76, I never ran a step because my lungs were wrecked. And then within a few months with Ningxia Red, I ran 1 solid hour with no panting whatsoever. So it's as if my organs are 40 years younger. It's as if Jacinth's organs are 5 or 10 years younger. It's as if my sister's organs are 5 to 10 years younger. It's as if my friend's organs are 10 years younger because he can now perform at age 76 in bed like he did when he was 66. And people typically say a big wow at Ningxia. And I tell them, I will take a chance on you. You need to purchase those 3 products. So they say, yeah. And I step through the website with them and they click on the starter kit with Desert Mist, which is the oils, the starter kit with the home cleaning products, which is the Thieves, and then the Ningxia 4-pack. And it comes to 330 PV, which is about $500 or $600. And I also tell them they must purchase this book, and you must also. Write it down. It's the Essential Oils Desk Reference 8th edition. Essential Oils Desk Reference 8th edition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th edition. Don't call me up and say, can I buy the 6th edition? It's the 8th edition you need to buy. And it's very beautiful. And I tell them, you must go to Discover LSP. Discover LSP. And LSP stands for Life Science Productions. Life Science Productions. And it's a company that has created a book that is not about essential oils. It's about only Young Living products. it's like a Young Living product itself, but it's not produced by Young Living at all. But every product mentioned in here is a Young Living product. And why it's important for the leaders to have is because of the index at the back. And in the index at the back, you can look up an oil. So I'm just going to take an oil randomly here. Grand Fir. Grand Fir. What the heck does Grand Fir do? Or here's another oil, and it is, can't even pronounce it. Helichrysum. Helichrysum. What the heck does that do? In the index at the back, you look up the oil and it'll tell you what it does. It's good for the lungs, it's good for the brain, it's good for tumors, it's good for anti-cancer, it's good for the skin, it's good for the brain, it's good for memory. It'll tell you what the oil is used for, but also you can look up an illness. You can look up diabetes, eczema, shortness of breath, heart attack, stroke. You can look up any disease in the back and it'll tell you what oils you should use. It's 600 pages, 8.5 by 11, or in Europe, A4. It's glossy and it's beautifully illustrated. And it's got beautiful pictures. And it also has, and this is the exciting part, it also has the scientific research. So if you look up an oil and it'll say this is good for sleep conditions, then it'll list 2 or 3 scientific research studies that were done at universities so that people know, oh my gosh, this is real. So I tell them, in addition to the 3 kinds of products, you also have to buy the essential oils desk reference. And then I tell them they have to buy one other product, and that's, please write this down, amber mixing spray bottles. Amber mixing spray bottles. And here's what they're for. They're for the thieves' cleaners. Some of the thieves' cleaners are okay as they are, like the laundry detergent, you just pour a little in, or the toothpaste, you just brush your teeth. But there's a big bottle, which is the Thief Cleanser, but it's way, way too concentrated. At the very minimum, for the harshest cleaning, you have to dilute it 20:1. So harsh is like cleaning the grout between tiles or cleaning tubs or toilets, like really harsh cleaning, you have to dilute it 20:1. And for light cleaning, like windows or mirrors, believe it or not, you dilute it 100:1. Well, how do you dilute it? What do you put it in? For some reason, Young Living doesn't sell the bottles. So you have to buy them separately. Just go to Amazon for your country, amazon.ca for Canada, amazon.com for United States, amazon.co.uk for England. Go to your country's Amazon and type in amber mixing spray bottles and buy 2 of them, 4 of them, 6 of them, however many you think you need, so that the cleaners can be diluted and ready. Some in your kitchen, some in your laundry room, maybe some in the bathroom.
I assume you said mixing, like you're mixing it up together with some other things. Correct.
M-I-X-I-N-G.
Perfect.
You mix it with water, you dilute it.
Perfect.
But the way you find it in Amazon is amber mixing spray bottles. Amber means the color of the glass. And spray means there's a nozzle so that you squeeze it and it sprays. So that's number 5, the types of products. And they place their order right there. I enroll them, they place their order, and they commit to buying the spray bottles and the essential oil desk reference. So now they're in, and they've invested hundreds of dollars. So step number 6 is the 2-way commitment. and I say, you're in, congratulations. I'm going to tell Jack all about you. And he's told me many times, don't listen to what they say, look at what they do. So Jack's going to be watching you. He can see my account. He's going to be watching you. So I'm going to make a commitment to you, and I want you to make a commitment to me. Here's my commitment to you, sir. I will match your energy. If you want to be a very unproductive leader, I don't think you are, but if you want to be very unproductive and you only want to enroll one person a month and disappoint me, fine. I'll give you a little bit of help. If you want to enroll one person a day, I'll be there. No matter how hard you want to work, I will be right with you. You put me on a three-way call by Zoom or by telephone, and I will do the first enrollments for you until you learn how to do it. And then in the fourth or fifth one, I'll do part of it and you do part of it. And then maybe in the sixth or seventh one, you'll do all of it and I'll just be listening. But I will go at your pace. If you want to go slow and disappoint me, go slow. I'll give you a little bit of help. If you want to go fast, I'll give you lots and lots of help. So that I offer them my commitment first, and then I say, fine, what is your commitment to me? And they sometimes say, I will enroll one person a day. I won't just do an enrollment. Sorry, I won't just do an enrollment presentation. I will do an enrollment every day, no matter what. I say, okay, man, I'll be with you. How about 8 p.m.? 8 p.m. tomorrow? No, 8 p.m. every day for the next month. Okay, fine. I'll be there. Or whatever they say, I match their energy. The biggest mistake in network marketing is wanting it more than they do. The biggest mistake in life is listening to their words instead of looking at their actions. And so I say to them, what do you want to do? That's what you want to do, I'll be there. If you want me every Saturday night, I'll do it every Saturday night, whatever you want. And then I look at the results. Do they actually show up with the prospect? Is the prospect really good? And if they tell me the prospect is a huge business builder, I will do the style that I just taught you in this presentation. If the person's just a customer, I'll talk about Ningxia Red. If the person has some health issues, I'll talk just about the oils and Ningxia. And then number 7, that final one, is I send them some material. So I'm sure I've sent you, and you can send them, a 1-hour product training video that Jack did. I've sent it, I'm sure I've sent it to you. If you don't have it, just tell me and I can send it again. You also need to start training them. You also need to commit to being there when their box arrives so you can do an unboxing party with them. And here are the rules for an unboxing party. You better know the products that they're going to get in their box. So let's say they got the oils. And all you do is look in the Young Living website and see what oils they're going to get. And then you only have to do this research once. If they're going to get Northern Lights Black Spruce, look up Northern Lights Black Spruce in here. If they're going to get Valerian, or if they're going to get Joy or Rose or whatever in their kit with the Desert Mist, just look it up, write it down, and that's what that oil does. They'll be dazzled. And so at the unboxing party, you have to know what every single product is that they're going to get so you can explain it to them. And then you have to help them design their next month's order. So you tell them, go into the left side control panel. Let me show you. Here, go to the left side control panel and click on monthly order. Right here, monthly order. Now in Canada, it's monthly order. In the United States, it's ER monthly order. And in England, it's essential rewards. But in any case, it's the third one down. Dashboard, member news, and then how to order. And you tell them never click on shop. Never, ever, ever click on shop, or you'll make a giant mistake. Just click on the third one down, monthly order. And when they do, they'll get 6 boxes. And here are the 6 boxes coming up right now. And you say to them, notice that the bottom right box does not have purple here. It says process today and it's white. And that's because you've already placed your monthly order for this month, because we just placed it a little while ago. Then you click on change order and you say, here's the order that we just placed for this month. You can see it right here. So all you do is, you see the little trash cans? You just click off what you don't want. So let's say you don't want this, you click it off and hit the trash can. So I would say to him, you don't want the oils again next month, and you don't want the Thieves Cleaner next month, so let's trash those 2, but leave the Ninja on. It's already 130 and you only need 100. So let's leave it like that. And if you can't think of anything else you want, you'll just automatically get the Ninja. But then you should also give them some suggestions of other things they could order so they can see the other amazing products. And here are my suggestions. Organic dried wolfberries. It's an unbelievable snack. I get 2 of them every single month. It's always there. Organic dried wolfberries are like red raisins. They look like red raisins, and they're actual wolfberries dried, and they're an amazing snack. Another thing I say they should put in is the foaming hand soap. Foaming hand soap, because it is the most amazing soap I have ever tried. It comes in 4 different fragrances, and I tell them, heck, let's get 2 of each. Put it at all your sinks and keep some in reserve in case they run out in the middle of a month. And people typically do. They're not that expensive and they're amazing. I also tell them to get charcoal soap because it's jet black, it smells wonderful. And I say to them, that's how you do it. And then once you've added the things you like and tick off the things you don't want, you just click right there, save monthly order, and you'll have your order saved for February. And if you don't do anything in February, then on your processing date, you'll get that order. And this is critically important. You go into monthly order and you have them look at the bottom left box called processing date. This is very, very important. And it takes a minute to explain to you, so listen carefully. I have right now about 28,000 OGV because almost everybody has ordered. And by the end of the month, it may be 29,000 OGV, it might be 30,000, it might be 33,000. I might even hit 35,000, which would make me gold this month, but I may not. But 1 second after midnight in the new month, I'll have 0 OGV because in the new month, no one will have ordered yet. So I have to start from nothing and build myself up all the way. Star, senior star, executive, silver. You got to work your way up from nothing as people order. Well, if a lot of your people wait till the end of the month to order, then you're never going to know until the very, very last minute of the month whether you've achieved the next rank. And so here's my rule, write this down. If you enroll them in the first half of the month, tell them to change their processing date to the 5th of the month. And by the way, you'd better do that yourself too. No leaders in my organization can be any later than the 5th of the month, because everyone in your organization is going to copy you. So if you order on the last day of the month, that's what they'll do. And then you'll have a really bad organization. Imagine if somebody's credit card doesn't get approved on the last day of the month, then they can't order in that month and your organization is weaker. If they enroll in the second half of the month, I tell them to change their processing date to the 20th. So in your life, in your second month or third or fourth month in Young Living, by the 20th of the month, almost everyone will have ordered. And now if you're trying to rank up to silver or gold and you only have, let's say, 800 PVs to go, you've got 10 days to get there. So that's number 7, what you do after they enroll. Do you have a question on that?
I have a question, Raymond. It's about the unboxing party. So if I have a customer, and all they've ordered is they want the Ninja 4-pack monthly and they get their first one. So I'm just going to be telling them about Ninja and telling them the great things about Ninja. So I'm just going to reinforce that as we open it up and tell them, take it once in the morning, once at night. Is there anything else I want to add?
Yes. Well, you know, what you've said so far, you've left off the most important thing. They opened it.
Ah.
Before I got the idea to do unboxing parties, I had noticed that a friend of mine quit. So I called him up and said, "You've only been in it for 3 months and you've quit already? Why?" He said, "I've got 3 unopened boxes of this shit. What do I do with it?" They didn't even open it and didn't know what to do with it. So at an unboxing party, at least it's opened. And you tell them, you see all the stuff at the bottom? Shake it up, take the lid off, go get a glass, pour it in for an inch or so, pour in some cold water, put it in an ice cube if you want, and drink it. Oh my gosh, it tastes so good. I know. So I take this every morning, correct? No, every morning and every night. Oh, because if you don't tell them that, they'll still have 2 bottles left over by the end of the month, and then they'll quit because they're overloaded. Why should I buy more? I need a month off. And yes, tell them more stories or tell them the same stories again. But then, Stephen, you have the chance to say, you know what? Raymond's favorite product is the foaming hand soap. No, I just want the Ninja. Oh, you don't want clean hands? You're buying soap anyways. Why don't you buy soap from Young Living? It's pure, no harmful chemicals in it. How about a snack? Do you ever snack on anything? Well, instead of having sugary crap, try dried organic wolfberries. And when you do that, they have bigger and bigger orders. And the trick is to get them to fall in love with one product. If they fall in love with one, even if it's just charcoal soap, for God's sake, I don't know how many PVs it is. Maybe it's 5 PVs. If they fall in love with one product that's only 5 PVs, they have to order 100 PVs to get it. They'll never quit. And then in March, April, and May, you tell them about other products that are your favorites. Or you tell them, you know what? 4 is what they recommend, but I like taking 6 bottles, if it's the truth, because I do. I take 6 bottles in a month. So I pour in more because I want to be healthier. They might say, you know what? I can afford it. I'll do 6. Bingo. Now you've got a much bigger PV order.